home decor is what you've been looking for, look no further, because we're happy to show you just how easily glass can turn up the wow value of your home. Take those old kitchen cabinet doors. You pull the cabinet doors off their hinges, mill out the center, and we'll replace it with glass. It could have a design, or we could use plain glass for a simple metro look. We can design any look you're going for, from traditional to prairie, beveled glass, even custom designs. And it doesn't stop there. Entry glass, transoms, bath mirrors, rec room mirrors? How about a rec room mirror with your personalized sports design sandblasted right on? That could be a pretty cool look. All it takes is a little outside-of-the-box thinking, and we'll help you get there. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, March 18th. Your top story, nearly a month since a Two Rivers boy went missing.
I'm Jessica Ty. Hybrid cars getting a boost.
Mostly to partly cloudy today. Some flurries expected with a high of 37. Cloudy tonight, some flurries with a low of 28. Back to 50 on Tuesday. It's 31 degrees in Milwaukee. At 11:01 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, the search for missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu from Two Rivers now in its 28th day. At a weekend vigil in Two Rivers Saturday, volunteer organizers and community leaders encouraging the public not to lose faith.
We need everybody. We need bodies everywhere searching for Elijah to get Elijah home.
We can't stop until Elijah is brought home.
I want to encourage us as a community to not lose faith.
Vu's mother, Katrina Bauer, and her partner, Jesse Vang, are facing child neglect charges, but have not yet been charged in connection to Vu's disappearance.
Wisconsin voters will decide next month whether to make it unconstitutional to accept private grant money to help administer state elections. It's one of two Republican-backed questions on the state's April 2nd ballot. The other is a change that would allow only officials designated by law to administer elections. Democrats say these measures are meant to make it harder to conduct elections. Early in-person absentee voting is scheduled to start Tuesday.
President Biden has said he would sign a bill that would force Chinese company ByteDance to sell TikTok, or else the app would be banned in the United States. However, ABC News reporter Steve Roberts tells Wisconsin's Morning News that plan would run counter to his current campaign strategy.
The oddity here is Biden says, yeah, I'll sign this bill, but at the same time, he's made TikTok a central part of his communication strategy, particularly trying to appeal to the young people who are very committed to TikTok, but are also very important voters in this election.
The bill passed the House with bipartisan support last week. A vote in the Senate has not yet been scheduled.
EV sales may be slowing down, but hybrid sales are picking up.
Toyota Prius Prime is the ultimate expression of plug-in.
The Wall Street Journal's crunched the numbers and proclaims cars with combo gas engines and battery-propelled motors are the hottest on the lot. Toyota, which now offers a hybrid version of nearly every gas-powered model, is the leader with no plugging in necessary. Cox Automotive estimates the number of overall hybrid models on sale in the U.S. has grown 40% over the past 5 years. 50% in the first 2 months of this year alone. EV sales were up 13%. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Good start to the week here. The Dow Jones currently up 147 points at 38,859. The NASDAQ up 175 points at 16,149. S&P 500 also in the green today, up 43 points at 5160. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Check out annexwealth.com. Click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:04.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Burkhardt Sporting Goods has a great reputation for producing custom team apparel. We're total team outfitters and we can handle the biggest jobs. Our success in custom team apparel led us into group and corporate apparel. Plus, we have a full selection of promotional products for employee gifts, special events, you name it. And we've made it easy for our customers to firm up their orders. The group sale web stores that we build for our customers are a simple way of gathering all the information you need. They're easy to work, easy to understand, and with them you'll have access to nearly limitless options. We've seen that most times we're better priced than our competition on the same high-quality apparel choices that the other guys offer. Plus Nike and Under Armour choices that the other guys can't get. And we offer a huge brand selection from Yeti, North Face, and Carhartt too. This is Brian Burkhardt. For team, group, or corporate custom outfitting and promotional products, it's going to be really hard to beat our prices, selection, and ease of buying for any size budget and every size company. And that's why we always say, you can't beat Burkhardt. New Berlin and Fox Point.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's All Sports Desk. All eyes on college basketball. Marquette earns the number 2 seed. They'll begin NCAA tournament play Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock against Western Kentucky. Funny moment. Head coach Shaka Smart was asked by college basketball analyst John Rothstein if guard Tyler Kolek will play after missing the Big East tournament due to injury.
Well, should I answer now or should I wait for you to text me every day between now and then?
Well, I mean, I think really for our show right now it would be beneficial if you could give us an answer and an update and really add some meat on the bone.
Yeah, we're planning on him playing on Friday. Now, he does have to go through a progression.
And some good news there for Marquette. Meanwhile, the Badgers earn a number 5 seed. They'll play James Madison Friday night at 8:40 in Spokane, Washington. UW Green Bay and Marquette women will also participate in the women's tournament and play Saturday against Tennessee and Ole Miss, respectively. And the Brewers take on the Angels today in Cactus League play. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN with coverage beginning at 3 o'clock. Our next broadcast scheduled for tomorrow at 2:55.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. It looks like a Monday out there, everybody. There are no accidents to report, and that's a good thing, so we'll smile about that. Drive times are looking good for the most part. The only exception is that one stickler spot, I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown, where all the construction is happening right now. That's a 2-minute delay, so not too bad, but once again, you're kind of used to it if you're taking I-43 southbound right now. Brown Deer Road to downtown, there is a 2-minute delay due to the construction.
Mostly cloudy today. Flurries expected, a high of 37. Mostly cloudy tonight. Flurries expected with a low of 28. Back to 50 tomorrow under partly cloudy skies. Breezy and mild. We're not going to have that for long. Back into the 30s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's 31 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Did you get your St. Patrick's Day on yesterday? You're wearing green today.
I am. That's because Thanasis was coming to our studio. So I'm wearing green, actually, not for St. Patrick's Day yesterday, but for the Bucks today.
We did not get into St. Patrick's Day as much as usual. It didn't fit into the rhythm of our days so much. We had family in town. One of my daughters had a birthday party to go to. My other daughter had a soccer match yesterday afternoon.
So are you saying no green beer then, no Guinness, no corned beef and cabbage?
There was a Shamrock Shake, and then we had Chinese for dinner.
Oh,
so
I do love those Shamrock Shakes, and I didn't have one.
They are delicious, and I think still available through the rest of the month. So not a lot of St. Patrick's Day. We had Chinese for dinner, like I said, but hey, we still celebrate it in spirit.
I made corned beef and cabbage, and I picked up some Smittix for those people.
Oh, there you go.
Really, green beer is not really the way to go if you really want to celebrate the Irish tradition of beer. So picked up some Smittix, did the corned beef and cabbage, and I listened to the music from County Clare, even though I wasn't there this time because we live very close to it.
All right.
And everybody was having a good time, so you could hear it.
You can imagine that. You win. You win this year, Jessica. It's 11:09. Some big stories here we're covering today.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number one, and happening right now, the Supreme Court is hearing arguments over how far the federal government can go to fight false information online. This issue first came up during the pandemic when the federal government accused social media companies of promoting misinformation about vaccines. You probably remember that. Listen to this. This is a U.S. Principal Deputy Solicitor General saying the White House was simply communicating with the platforms.
This was a time when thousands of Americans were still dying every week, and there was a hope that getting everyone vaccinated could stop the pandemic. And there was a concern that Americans were getting their news about the vaccine from these platforms, and the platforms were promoting, not just posting, but promoting bad information.
Lower courts have sided with Republican-led states, which accuse the Biden administration of pressuring social media companies to censor conservative points of view.
Number two, and returning to prime time television tonight, it's Oprah. That's right. In prime time, it's a special titled Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution. Airs tonight at 7 o'clock. So this comes after she recently exited the board of Weight Watchers, and the conversation is going to center around the impact of prescription weight loss medications. It's been a thing for her over the years, battling weight loss.
I think this is a big deal because you have more people who are using these weight loss drugs right now. You have other people who are just kind of thinking about it. They're seeing somebody using it working well for them and saying, I wonder if I should too, maybe talk to my doctor about this. And yes, when it comes to Oprah, I mean, for decades, she battled with her weight, and we all watched it. I mean, we watched the yo-yo weight of hers on the television show. You could see it when she was doing really well and then when she wasn't. And for a long time, she felt like, I don't want to use a drug. I don't want to use medicine. I should be able to do it on my own, right? She kind of felt like it was defeating to use the drug. But now she's coming out and saying, you know what? Life is short. I'm getting older. If this can help and this can make me healthier, why not? So her position has really changed. I think a lot of people are going to be in tune to this tonight.
And some, I think, wondering if she is backing a specific weight loss drug, right? Off the board at Weight Watchers, what's else behind this? Is she behind one specific one or the revolution in general?
Well, I did Google just out of curiosity last night to find out if we could find out which one that she's on, but she has not yet said. And at this point, I don't think she's going to, right? Because everybody would be wanting to buy stock in that one.
Exactly. Got to be careful with that kind of stuff.
Number three, a big weekend for our producer, Aaron Pelican.
Heyo.
Hello, there he is. He got engaged over the weekend to his now fiancée, Olivia. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you so much. It feels good to be in three big things with Oprah. That's a good feeling right there. Yeah, not bad.
I don't know if you can beat that.
Well, what did you do? How did you do it?
So, our first date was back home in Utica, Illinois, at a place called Buffalo Rock. I always would go there for sunsets on my own, and then I started dating her, and I thought, let's take her out there my first date, and we were out there for the first time, and it was a beautiful day. It started raining on us in the middle of sunshine, a sunny rain, super romantic. It ended up being very memorable. So this Saturday, my dad was playing at a restaurant in Oglesby, Illinois, which is right next to Utica. So my family was going to be there, her family was going to be there, and it was perfect. I took her out to Buffalo Rock. We sat there and waited for the sunset, and once it started going down, I popped the questions. She said yes, good news. And we went back and listened to my dad play and celebrate with the family. It was great.
I love it. He's just got like an extra skip in his step this morning. His eyes are shining a little bit brighter, don't you think?
Aaron is always a very happy individual, but yes, even more so today. Well deserved, man. That's great. Good for you.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Congratulations.
We're
awesome
happy.
Stuff. Hey, social media, it's a thing right now, and it's a campaign strategy. Interestingly enough, it's a big week for TikTok. ABC's Jay O'Brien walks us through the details. Coming up, it's 11:13 on WTMJ.
Be
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
I-94 eastbound. A semi just came to a screeching stop in the center lane. I think he's broken down right there.
Call me, Debbie Loziga, at the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
On southbound I-94, right around Drexel Avenue, there's a wreck in the left lane, and the left lane is blocked.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it? Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
Hey, it's a huge week in basketball, really a huge next 3 weeks or so in basketball. And oh, by the way, the NBA is hurtling toward the playoffs. So here we go. Now's a great time to get unleashed with Underdog Fantasy and their Pick'em game. It's up, it's running on my phone, on my app, the Underdog Fantasy app, where I use the promo code WTMJ, and they matched my first deposit up to $100. They'll do the same for you. Underdog Fantasy, download the app or register online. Use the promo code WTMJ. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. How do you play? It's simple. It's a pick'em game. All you have to do is pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams. Select a player from Marquette on Friday, and then a player from Wisconsin. Doesn't matter that they aren't playing each other. All you need to do is pick between 2 and 5 players from 2 different teams, at least 2 different teams. And you're off and running. Select higher or lower on player stats and watch and see what happens. It's legal in Wisconsin and a ton of fun to play. It's Underdog Fantasy and a pick'em game. You can play fantasy games with your friends. You can just sort of go off and do your own thing, mix and match sports if you'd like, a little baseball with a little college basketball, maybe some golf. Really, do whatever you would like to do. It's fun, fast, and easy. Underdog Fantasy, promo code WTMJ. They'll match your first deposit up to $100 and offer you a mystery special pick. It's a freebie. Think of it that way. Really gets you off and running and off to a good start. Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 years or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. It's Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code WTMJ.
Getting up to 5% back is easy at Fleet Farm. Fleet Rewards members can earn up to 5% back on every purchase, in-store and online. The earnings stack up automatically. The more you buy, the more you earn. No rebates, no coupons, no hassles. And Fleet Rewards membership is easy, so sign up now and start earning up to 5% back on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply.
Chilly day here. Expect some flurries and cloudy skies with a high of 37. We're not quite there yet. Overnight low of 28 degrees. Flurries expected. We reach 50 tomorrow, but then back in the 30s for the rest of the week. So a bit of warmth a bit on Tuesday, but not quite today or the rest of the week. 31 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:17. Well, TikTok has emerged as a 2024 campaign issue and a potential potent political player. How do you like that alliteration here?
I love that alliteration with all the P's, popping the P's.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and there's talks of censorship and just how much information or misinformation is shared really in the social media landscape in general. But ultimately behind TikTok, there's worry on a bill introduced by Wisconsin Senator or Congressman Mike Gallagher that the CCP, those who are in control from China, they're after information for the millions and millions of Americans who are using TikTok. So bipartisan legislation, will it get to the Senate floor, though? That's the big question here. Jay O'Brien joins us from Washington. Hello, Jay.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Doing well. So what is the future of this piece of legislation? How far is it going to get?
It really all depends on Chuck Schumer, who's the Senate Majority Leader, as you know. He controls what bills go to the Senate floor. And this passed, as you noted, with bipartisan support in the House a little while back. Is at 352 votes, Republicans and Democrats, big margin. But it doesn't guarantee that it gets a vote in the Senate. Just because something passes in the House doesn't mean it has to get a vote in the Senate. So it's really up to Chuck Schumer, and he hasn't shown a lot of urgency to put this bill on the floor.
Are we starting to hear more from small businesses that use TikTok? Because it's one thing when you talk about the kids are using TikTok or the teenagers are using TikTok, but there are quite a few small businesses that actually get a decent amount of their livelihood from TikTok.
Yeah, and a lot of those businesses say they would have a serious hit to their bottom line. Some said they wouldn't exist anymore if TikTok were to be banned. Again, this legislation tries to force a sale of TikTok. If it were to become law, if it were to ultimately pass the Senate, it would give TikTok's Chinese parent company 6 months to sell the app. And if they don't sell the app within that 6-month period, then it could be banned. And these small businesses say, even if TikTok gets banned, even if the app gets sold and it's unlike what they experience now, that could have a serious impact on them. A lot of these businesses, their voices are being highlighted by TikTok itself in their effort to lobby members of Congress and, frankly, make their case to the American people, too, that they should survive, that this action should not be taken against them, and that these national security fears, as TikTok says, that lawmakers have put up, TikTok believes, are baseless.
You know, Jay, it has bipartisan support, but Donald Trump is against this bill, right? I mean, he's not going to do anything to put more power in the hands of Facebook and his notable opponent or opposition, Mark Zuckerberg. Meanwhile, President Biden, though he launched a TikTok account on the Super Bowl and is trying to attract younger voters, said he would sign the bill if it reached him. So does that affect Schumer's decision at all?
And it feels so upside down. To your question of if it affects Schumer, I'm not quite sure, but it feels upside down, right? Because President Biden's campaign is on TikTok, but he's the one saying he would sign this into law. Former President Trump is saying he opposes this, but it was the Trump administration, remember, in 2020 that tried to go through an administrative action to ban TikTok, and then they tried to have TikTok be sold, and that never petered out, and TikTok fought that effort of a ban in court, and then it kind of dissolved because when President Biden was inaugurated, the Biden administration made it clear they weren't going to pursue that administrative action that the Trump administration was taking. So everybody's taking an opposite position, it seems, than they had this time about 4 years ago.
Jay, this could be a long road ahead because the courts could get involved in this. So I feel like we could be talking about this for a year, if not longer. So let's have a real moment here. I know 1/3 of adults have used TikTok. Have you used TikTok?
Absolutely. ABC News uses TikTok. I use TikTok. I have a professional TikTok account. It's JOBTV. It's on a phone that is not synced to Wi-Fi at my home or ABC News Wi-Fi. ABC News is a TikTok. Again, the president has a TikTok. There are members of Congress who voted for this legislation who have TikTok accounts where they post videos that are professionally made. So a huge portion of the American public is on this app. And so the question becomes, how inextricably linked is it into the American social media diet? And what does that mean for Chuck Schumer's calculus as to whether or not he wants to bring it to a vote?
Jay, you said something interesting there. Have you been told you're not supposed to use TikTok on company Wi-Fi for some reason?
No, that's just my personal decision out of security concerns from some experts that I've talked to.
Very interesting stuff. Jay O'Brien, ABC News. It's 11:22 on WTMJ. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, guys.
Chilly start to the week. Tyler Moore, TMJ4 meteorologist, is going to join us on the other side. A bit of a warm-up, then a cool-down again. And I see snow in the forecast. What does it mean? Is it flurries or is it real? More after this.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. With custom coverage and superior customer service, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
Well, your home's defense is crucial, right? Defensive failure is offensive to you and your home. Well, Siding Unlimited is your home's best defensive coach. Windows, roofing, decks, and of course siding, right there in their name. Siding Unlimited is it. Windows? Think siding. Siding Unlimited. They handle several great brands and are also one of only 5 Pella Platinum Premium installers in the country, and the only one around here. It's Siding Unlimited. Doors and decks, roofing, siding, yes, yes, and yes. To all of the above, it's Siding Unlimited. Nobody can beat them. When you deal with Siding Unlimited, you get that honest pricing, and that's guaranteed. And with that, no gimmicks. None of that buy one, get one stuff, blah, 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 right? You've heard it before. Siding Unlimited does not play that game. This is what it will cost, period. Honest pricing. Bolster your home's defense with the best defensive team ever. It's Siding Unlimited. Find them online at sidingunlimited.com.
Labor shortages, retention problems, it's been a challenging time for my business. But in Wisconsin, there's 600,000 people with disabilities who are ready to work right now. They just need you to believe in them and say yes. I did.
And once you say yes, Thinkability Wisconsin will be there, providing transition and workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers to help shape a better future for all. It all starts when you say yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
Greg and Jessica with you. It's Wisconsin's Midday News on WTMJ. Very much looking forward to the 12 o'clock hour. Tim Sheehy's going to join us from the MMAC at about 12:15. And then in studio here, Thanasis Antetokounmpo. The older brother of Giannis is going to join us at 12:30. We'll have the final half hour of the program with Thanasis at a very cool event he's got coming up at Potawatomi on Friday, where he'll take his podcast with Giannis live for people to check out. We've got all the details coming up at 12:35.
Thanalysis is his podcast. It's pretty cool, and it's growing ever so much every day. He's getting more and more. In fact, he just hit a milestone. We'll talk about that coming up, too.
Very enlightening guy, no doubt about that. As is our next guest, it's TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, guys. Happy Monday.
Yeah, we had a chilly end of the weekend. My goodness, it was legit cold. And here we go with the chilly start to the week. Looks like just a brief warm-up here this week. Otherwise, below normal temperatures. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, you're spot on with that. Isn't it crazy? You know, Saturday was pretty mild, then Sunday is like we flipped the switch, and now it's kind of here to stay for most of the week. Yeah, and tomorrow is the spring equinox, so at least for tomorrow, our high temperature will be above average, close to 50 degrees. But yeah, the rest of the week, we are going to get stuck in the 30s.
Okay, as I look ahead at this new work week here, I also see a chance for snow. And that is different because I saw flurries yesterday outside downtown walking my dog. In fact, I even saw a couple flurries outside today walking Baxter as well. But flurries are different than snow. So we're actually going to get some accumulating snow?
Yeah, we're talking the chance for some accumulating snow, unfortunately. I mean, during the month of March, we averaged 6.7 inches of snow. So not unusual. I just think we're all ready for spring to settle in for good. But yeah, Thursday night into Friday morning is kind of the time frame that we're watching. It's a clipper system, so it's not going to be the strongest storm system that produces a bunch of snow, but there is enough moisture within the areas cold enough that we could at least look at a few inches of snow depending on the track of this system. But we're still about 4 days out. Details still uncertain, but definitely plan for your Friday morning commute to be a little bit tricky at times.
That's interesting, Tyler. I'm hopeful that the concrete, the pavement, everything, the asphalt is warm enough to where it kind of melts on its own. You don't need too much of the plow service.
Yeah, you know, I was looking at the ground temperatures just a couple minutes ago here, and they were up in the 40s and 50s for about the last week or two. With some of the rain and some of the colder temperatures, it has started to fall down into the 30s. So there is the chance that the ground temperatures might not be warm enough to melt all of it. Definitely, if it comes down heavy enough, too, we might have some slippery spots on the roadways. Hopefully not too much shoveling needed, though, if the temperatures can stay warm enough.
Well, it would be nice for the people who are missing the winter that we really didn't have. If they can get a little bit of snow, the kids can go out and play, maybe make even a miniature snowman. I'm going to look on the bright side and say this will be good news for all those people.
Yeah, and, you know, this time of year it never sticks around too long. So, you know, we'll get some snow. It'll be pretty for a little bit, and then it melts away, and we'll be back to spring sometime soon, hopefully.
I'm guessing it's too early to ask you about opening day in Milwaukee. I know it's not till April.
Yeah, that's tough right now. I do think, you know, by the end of the month and into the beginning of April, the models are kind of signaling towards coming back towards a more mild pattern. But it looks like the rest of March might be a bit cooler as we head towards April, though things look like they warm up a bit more.
Good stuff, Tyler. We'll check in again later this week. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You bet. TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore. News coming up on the other side. It's 11:27 on WTMJ.
Marcus is a connoisseur of anything that's free, so he was happy to read the disclaimer on TurboTax Free Edition.
Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me!
File your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your max refund guaranteed. See if you qualify to file for free at TurboTax.com. See max refund guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Heiser Automotive has slam dunk deals this month. Our team has your back, and we'll make sure the process of servicing your vehicle or purchasing a new vehicle goes smoothly and without a turnover. Plus, we will be awarding our MVPs with our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which is included on each vehicle sale. See all details at Heiser.com. After your visit, you'll feel like you've made the winning shot. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, a former Milwaukee elections director's trial begins.
I'm Jessica Ty. Tough times for a major American craft retailer.
Mostly cloudy today, flurries expected with a high of 37 degrees. Mostly cloudy tonight, flurries expected with a low of 28. Up to 50 tomorrow, but in the 30s for the rest of the week. Kind of in a rut here in March. It's currently 31 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:30.
ABC News, I'm Daria Aldinger. For the first time in over a month, President Biden has spoken with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as the IDF raids a large hospital in Gaza and the UN Food Agency warns famine is imminent.
World Food Program Chief Economist Arif Hussein speaking in Rome.
In northern Gaza, famine is imminent, starting from now till May of this year. So it's a very short window to act.
Breaking it down, he says 1.1 million people there are in a catastrophic level of hunger.
ABC's Tom Rivers at the Foreign Desk. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments today over how far the federal government can go to combat false information online. Former President Trump's lawyers say he's facing insurmountable difficulties in obtaining a bond to satisfy his nearly $500 million New York federal judgment. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:31. Jury selection underway in the trial of a former Wisconsin election official who allegedly requested mail-in ballots for 3 non-existent military voters and sent them to the home of State Representative Janelle Brannigan.
We waive the reading and the plea is not guilty.
Kimberly Zapata was charged in 2022 with 1 count of felony misconduct in public office and 3 misdemeanor counts of election fraud, much to the shock of Mayor Cavalier Johnson at the time.
I was stunned to hear the very serious allegations against her.
Zapata began working for the commission in 2016 and became deputy director in 2022. Zapata's felony charge carries maximum penalties of both 3.5 years in prison and $10,000 in fines. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
There's been worldwide condemnation of Russia's presidential election, in which Vladimir Putin won with nearly 90% of the vote. CBS News correspondent Cammie McCormick has the update.
One independent monitoring group says the vote was the most fraudulent and corrupt in Russia's history. Latvia's foreign minister.
Putin just arranged the elections to make sure that he's in power again for another 6 years. They will not change course. Russia will not stop. This is clear. They can only be stopped.
The U.S. and its allies have said the vote was neither free nor fair due to the imprisonment of political opponents and censorship.
Meanwhile, President Biden has said he would sign a bill that would force Chinese company ByteDance to sell TikTok, or else the app would be banned in the United States. However, ABC News' Steve Roberts tells Wisconsin's Morning News that plan would run counter to his current campaign strategy.
The oddity here is Biden says, yeah, I'll sign this bill, but at the same time, he's made TikTok a central part of his communication strategy, particularly trying to appeal to the young people who are very committed to TikTok, but are also very important voters in this election.
The bill passed the House with bipartisan support last week. A vote in the Senate has not been scheduled.
Time has not been kind to a fabric and crafts chain.
Get ready to make it and make it great at Joann.
After a brief boom in business during the pandemic when we were feathering our nests, 81-year-old Joann's has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Fear not, fans. The retailer says its 850 stores and the website will remain open thanks to $132 million in fresh funding. That'll reduce its debt by half. Joann's CFO says customers have been shopping at lower-priced rivals like Hobby Lobby. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Saturday Limited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
In celebration of Women's History Month, join Annex Wealth Management and former member of the Wisconsin State Senate, Leah Vukmir, to explore Shattering the Myth of the Glass Ceiling. This conversation about real challenges facing women in the workforce is Tuesday, March 26th at our headquarters in Brookfield from 5 to 7 p.m. Bring a friend. Join us as Leah leads a collaborative dialogue centered around real obstacles women face as we bring our ideas to the corporate table. Sign up at annexwealth.com under the Events tab.
When a new baby is added to the mix, saving money becomes a real priority. Shopping at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores can help. With an abundance of baby clothing and toys, all thrift store priced at pennies on the dollar. You'll spend a little to get a lot. Find great deals on gently used baby clothes and toys at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Your District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris are joined by former Golden State Warriors GM Bob Myers.
There's still going to be a problem, right? You got one of the best 5 players in Giannis in the NBA on your team.
Find Your District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast. Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Kohler Services and CertaPro Painters. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's all sports desk. Big week of college basketball. Marquette, a number 2 seed. They'll begin NCAA tournament play Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock against Western Kentucky. Head coach Shaka Smart says guard Tyler Kolek is expected to play after missing the Big East tournament. Badgers are a 5 seed. They'll take on James Madison Friday night at about 8:40 from Spokane, Washington. UW Green Bay and Marquette women also participating in the women's tournament. They'll both play Saturday against Tennessee and Ole Miss, respectively. And it's the Brewers and Angels today from Arizona as Cactus League play continues. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN with coverage beginning at 3 o'clock.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. It is a Monday. There's not a lot going on, but I do have one incident I want to let you know about. It's I-43 at Fond du Lac Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked. I can see an emergency responder out there in a tow truck. It's not causing a lot of issues, but if you are headed that way, you will run into it. I-43 at Fond du Lac Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked.
Mostly cloudy today. Expect some flurries with a high of 37. Flurries hanging out tonight with a low of 28. Up to 50 tomorrow. Partly cloudy, breezy, and mild. Back into the 30s on Wednesday under mostly sunny skies. It's 31 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:37.
I was on TikTok this weekend. This is not a joke. I actually do have TikTok as well, and it's amazing what you can find. It's not all garbage. It was just full of real estate agents reacting to this big settlement agreement made by the National Association of Realtors. In case you missed it, the group agreed to a landmark deal that alters the commission structure. Well, it seemed that every agent had a different opinion on it. It was kind of like whiplash listening to all of them. So I thought, let's get some answers. Mike Ruzicka, president of the Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors, joins us live in the studio. Because, Mike, I just wanted to find out, at the end of the day, what does this settlement mean for us?
Well, it was delivered to us on Friday morning about 10 a.m., the same time the rest of the world saw it. So we really haven't had a chance to digest it very much. Over the weekend, a lot of people have been speculating all over the country about what it means. What we do know is that in Wisconsin, this settlement just deals with MLS listings. Well, what is located, or what is listed actually in the listing as far as commission goes. There are several other components of the real estate transaction and realtors' membership in the organization and their behavior that is governed outside of this. That doesn't change at all. So, for example, the Realtor Code of Ethics, that doesn't change at all. There's still a huge responsibility for agents to represent their clients in a responsible manner. We have rules in MLS that guide data integrity. That's extremely important for our organization and for the data integrity of the transaction, so that realtors have a good basis to judge what a property is valued at and things like that. Ultimately, the state of Wisconsin state real estate law governs everything. In Wisconsin, it's funny because during this whole lawsuit, I learned a lot about what's going on in other states. And I didn't realize that other states don't have state-governed, state-issued contracts. In Wisconsin, all the contracts that realtors used are produced by the state. And that's one of the good things about living in Wisconsin. We have a very pro-consumer state. And all the contracts, like the WB1, which is the listing agreement, has on line 51 has a line item that says compensation to others. So the state is saying, okay, we know that there are parties involved in this deal, and everybody's going to be compensated. Everybody should know what everyone is compensated at, what level. So anybody that's listed their house in the last, couple decades can look at the contract, and on line 51 it'll say what the compensation is. And that's ultimately what the lawsuit was about. In Missouri, the plaintiffs felt that the sellers and the buyers weren't aware of what everybody was being compensated in the transaction, and so they filed suit. Ultimately, were successful, and so it's caused some changes on the kind of the data entry side of MLS for us. But as far as the contracts go in governing the real estate transaction, it doesn't change that at all.
So, Mike, if I want to sell my home living in the state of Wisconsin, do I still need to pay a commission?
It's totally up to you. Commissions are always negotiable, always have been. There's commissions for the seller are different than the buying side. Those are all negotiable. So if you don't have to, you could about 15% of the market sells their home by themselves, or they attempt to. And as a result of that, we had discount brokers come into the market, or new business models being created that kind of absorb that, and they represent those people because they want limited service. It might be a house that some parents passed away, and so the children just want to get rid of it really quickly. So they use a limited service broker or a discount broker or something like that. There are different business models that can appeal to anybody in the process, or that wants to buy or sell a home.
So a lot of times you hear 6% commission. And I think on Friday when the news first hit about this big settlement, it was like, forget that 6% commission. It's not that easy.
No, not at all. And, the 6% is a common term people use, but I've seen commissions anywhere from 5.5% to 7%. All depends on the dynamics of the market, the marketplace, where the property is being sold, the condition of the property. There's so many factors that go into it. I think one of the things that a lot of pundits nationally have talked about is they're like, well, the internet has caused airline prices to go down and has changed the way cars are purchased. Why hasn't it changed real estate? But airplane seats are exactly the same, and cars are pretty much the same. There are no two houses that are exactly the same. Even if they're built by the same builder the same year, the people living in them decorate them differently, treat them differently. The value is completely different. So there's just a huge variety in a property's value that translates into how it can be sold, which in turn means in some cases realtors have to work extra hard to sell a property or to get buyers to that property.
Mike Ruzicka is the president of the Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors. Do you expect the market to change, especially here in Wisconsin, with these new rules?
No, not at all. The market is so tight right now. We've got less than 2 months of inventory. I think actually you can measure the inventory level in weeks now. Traditionally, we usually like to see around 6 months of inventory. That's when we say buyers and sellers are on equal footing as far as bidding on properties and accepting an offer. Right now, it's a significantly strong seller's market because there's no inventory. My wife and I last summer were looking to downsize. Our kids are gone, and we couldn't find anything. So now we're going to remodel and stay in our house for a few more years. The market is so tight right now. And we're looking at inventory levels, just like I said, a couple weeks, and prices are going up as a result. And the danger is first-time buyers won't be able to get into a house. They're stuck in apartments. They're not building equity. They're not saving enough to make a down payment. So it's really disrupting the market dynamics.
Well, and it's such a circle because just what you said, you guys were looking, couldn't find something, so you decided to stay and renovate your house. And so you probably have these younger people who would have loved to jump into your home, and now they can't because you're not going to sell.
We would love to have another family in the house and us be in a smaller place, but we just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and
although listings, I have heard over the winter months, there is a little bit loosening up of listings. Realtors are starting to list a few more properties, and they seem to be improving. I know in the stats release we just did last week, there was, listings were up a few percent and have been going up the last couple months. But to be honest with you, right now we have about 2,000 listings in MLS. We could use 5,000 more listings. If we had 7,000, that would be around 6 months of inventory. But we're nowhere near that. And unfortunately, the new construction side isn't producing enough either.
When we going back to the settlement agreement, do you think this will change at all how many real estate agents we have? Or I've kind of seen some people thinking that maybe we might have the people who are really, really good stay and then these very low-cost groups. Or do you think there'll be any shift or maybe even part-time people? Do you think some part-time people will go away with this change?
Possibly. It changes every few years. There's a new kind of new activity in the market. And I think what would probably be more likely to happen is some new business models will come up. That always happens. Every 2 to 3 years, we see new business models come up. About 20 years ago, it was limited service brokers. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we see that at all.
I've seen it characterized as, the consumers are the winner, the realtors are the losers in this. Is that too broad or unfair?
Yeah, I don't really see realtors being the losers in this. I think that the danger is first-time buyers. If they're not represented, they could purchase a home without any representation, get into a house, not realize that the basement was falling apart or something like that, and really kind of be stuck with a house that they have to sink a lot of money into.
I saw something that was, I thought, just a great idea. It was about a month ago. It was a local real estate agent had a new website, has a new website, and one of the features was coming soon. It was a coming soon feed, and it was up for like 2 days. If you're not familiar with it, basically what it was a one-stop shop for people to be able to see homes that are about to hit the market. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Why haven't we had this for years? I thought it was an awesome resource. And I checked it out that first day right away. And not a lot of people got a chance to see it because it was down just a couple days later. Why can't real estate agents have a resource like that on their website?
Well, mainly because we can't advertise properties that don't have a listing contract. And coming soon indicates that, okay, it's coming soon, but we don't know if they actually have a listing contract, and realtors by law cannot advertise a property that doesn't have a listing contract. So it's kind of speculative. Okay, you could put your neighbor's house up and say, okay, this might be coming soon, but we really don't know for sure. So we don't want to get involved in that.
Are the rules different in different states? Because I imagine this particular real estate agent thought that she was doing an okay thing. I can't imagine she thought she was going to, break any rules. Is that why? Because rules are different in different states?
Rules are very different in every state. It's funny, as I was saying earlier in the Sitzer case, I didn't realize that other states didn't have the transparency that we do in Wisconsin. It's shocking, actually.
Fascinating stuff. Mike Ruzicka is the president of the Greater Milwaukee Association of Realtors. A very interesting story. And like Jessica said, it popped last week without warning, I think, to anybody. Yeah. It's amazing to hear that it popped without warning to you as well, as one in the industry. Really interesting information, Mike. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It's 11:48 on WTMJ.
Getting up to 5% back is easy at Fleet Farm. Fleet Rewards members can earn up to 5% back on every purchase, in-store and online. The earnings stack up automatically. The more you buy, the more you earn. No rebates, no coupons, no hassles. And Fleet Rewards membership is easy, so sign up now and start earning up to 5% back on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply.
Stay and play in Lake Geneva, the Midwest's premier golf destination. With 10 challenging courses for all abilities and skill levels, breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Enjoy an all-inclusive golf getaway with luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. For course information and more, go to visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva. It's always been the place for legendary golf.
Wait now or wait a little longer. You may have just increased your lifetime income by tens of thousands of dollars. That's how Social Security can work for you. The longer you wait, the more money you may get. Deciding when to start taking your Social Security benefits is one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help make the right decision for your situation. You spent decades paying in. Optimize what comes out. Drake & Associates can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. Claim your free Retirement Ready Toolkit that has guides on Social Security. To get our complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Eager to remodel your kitchen, bath, or rec room? This is Rob Adair, and we're ready with a personal redesign for you. Adair Floors and Remodeling in Franklin. Give us a call and get personal care from Adair. 761-3660. AdairFloors.com.
There are surgeons lining up to be the one to do your joint replacement. But my advice? Exhaust all your options and put off joint replacement as long as you can. Make it your very last resort, because life after joint replacement isn't always what it's cracked up to be. As high as 30% of patients who have undergone joint replacement surgery report unsatisfactory results. And the cost, even with insurance, can be extraordinary. At Rejuvenex, we'll help ease your pain and improve your mobility with FDA-approved pharmacological treatments that precisely target where your pain lives. And by easing your pain and inflammation, we'll help you live a better life. And because we're in network with most major insurance plans, your out-of-pocket expense could be very affordable. Or nothing at all. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I always enjoy having a podium. Like if you're giving a speech, they'll say, you want a podium? Who passes on a podium?
See the world from his perspective on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Have you ever been asked a question that when they ask it, you're like, that's kind of a dumb one?
Every day at 7:50.
Yeah, Wildy. Pretty much. Jason Wildy, 9 to 12. Pretty much every morning. Yeah.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, Siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Hi folks, Cindy Storm Fisher and Julie Coombs here at Storm Fisher Investment Group with just one question. Are you happy with how your investments are growing? We've been helping people just like you for over 40 years, and we'd be happy to help you.
We have no agenda, no quotas to meet, and great relationships are our business. If you're looking for an advisory relationship like you've never had before, call us. Let's see if it's a great fit. Storm Fisher Investment Group, online at stormfisher.com.
See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
So it's not often that an alligator is seized in New York, but here we are. Hamburg, New York. Hello. Just outside of Buffalo, one man is vowing to regain custody of his alligator. 34-year-old alligator, 11-foot alligator, 750-pound alligator.
I'm Albert's dad. That's all there is to it. He's like family to everybody.
Yeah, his name is Albert, and he's been seized by...
Of course his name is Albert.
Authorities.
He's like 11 feet.
In New York. This guy is enormous, Albert is. He is 34 years old, the alligator. He is 11 feet long. He is 750 pounds. And he was procured by a guy named Tony Cavallaro in 1990. Dude, Tony has had this alligator since 1990, over 30 years, living in a pool at the guy's house.
Not only has Tony had this alligator for so many years, but he actually built an addition on his house and installed an in-ground swimming pool for the 30-year-old alligator. I mean, he was like, as he said, I'm its dad. This is family, so let's have a pool for it. But that's not all. He was allowing people, including kids, to get into the water with the alligator. That's the part where I'm like, oh gosh, okay, Tony's a little wacky. It's one thing for you to have an alligator if that's your thing.
Sure.
But then to say like, hey, come on in, jump in the pool. With Albert, the alligator.
The alligator is also blind in both eyes and has some spinal complications, along with some other health issues. I don't know what the average lifespan of an alligator is, but at 34 years old, having lived in this dude's pool since 1990, roughly, I mean, at some point, this thing got big, and the cage was no longer good enough. He needed a larger venue. Hey, kids, come on over. Hop in with the alligator. He's tame. He's calm. He can't see you.
That's the thing. He's blind.
Like,
see,
what?
when I first read that this alligator was blind, not just in one eye, but two eyes, I kept thinking, and he's got kids. You know kids. I'm sure the kids, well, some of them are probably scared of him, right? But if you have a kid who's jumping in the pool with the alligator, which just sounds nuts to me, but if you have a kid, they probably want to touch it, right? Or what if they accidentally poke it? And I'm thinking this alligator's blind in both eyes. Don't you think it's just going to snap at one point? I mean, I feel bad that this man, you know, has such a love for his alligator and it's really become one of the family and now it's gone. But at the end of the day, it just seemed like this was a huge accident waiting to happen.
Cavallaro says, quote, I'm not dangerous. I'm not being unsafe with people. Putting kids into his pool where the 34-year-old alligator has been living for who knows how many years. Interesting story, if you want to go back into my college life. I had a roommate who was a little bit out there at times.
Okay.
Came home from class, and I said, hey, you had a package arrive. Something was delivered via FedEx. And it was about the size of a dictionary, a box about that size.
Okay.
UPS. He said, oh, I think it's my caiman. What is a caiman? And a caiman is essentially part of the alligator family.
Oh, how is it different?
It's what's smaller. Caiman don't get quite as big,
Okay.
but it is a dangerous amphibian when it grows to full size.
And it was staying in your room?
Well, he had it shipped to him. He somehow found it from a reptile dealer. And I said, what, you just had an animal shipped to you via UPS? And I guess the caiman just knows how to hibernate when it's in a dark and cool location.
I
so
could
it
see
did.
that.
And sure enough, Tony had a cage for him. He put the caiman in it and started swimming around. It just came to life. It was, what in the world did you just do here? So we had a live amphibian sitting in our house the last year I had in college.
Did you enjoy it? Was it fun to watch?
Yeah, I mean,
did it cause any issues?
No, it was kind of a draw for people to come over after bar time and see what was going on and why we had an amphibian. And then I believe Tony just didn't do something right with the heating mechanism, and ultimately it was the Cayman just met its demise in the house at some point. But
the Cayman got cooked?
Unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre incident, but right on brand if you knew my roommate.
Totally a college guy to do that.
It's 11:58 on WTMJ. The news is next.
Cayman in.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlands.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchey with Richlands. You're due for service.
Richlands. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, March 18th. Your top story, a classroom conundrum in Crandon.
I'm Jessica Ty. Another auto worker union showdown is brewing.
Mostly to partly cloudy today. Flurries expected, a high of 37. Overnight low of 28 under mostly cloudy skies. We hit 50 on Tuesday. Breezy and mild, back into the 30s for the rest of the week. It's 32 degrees in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, classes remain postponed in the Crandon School District until April after a carbon monoxide leak sent kids home from classes Thursday. In a statement from Interim District Administrator Kirby Schultz Friday, due to the leak, the Northern Wisconsin School District will extend their spring break and are planning to have staff and students back on April 2nd. In addition to checking for leaks, they will be comprehensive cleaning happening at the facility for any potential leaks. Wisconsin Mechanical will assist with the investigation.
Resurfacing work begins on Wisconsin 241 from 8 Mile Road to Elm Road in Racine County. Traffic will be closed from 7 Mile Road to Elm Road until early fall. The Wisconsin DOT recommends following the detours using 9441 to Wisconsin 100 to go north and Elm Road to go south. Elm Road will remain open to through traffic during the project.
Well, the first step has been taken toward a possible union showdown in the South.
The United Auto Workers Union says workers have filed paperwork with the National Labor Relations Board seeking a union representation election at Volkswagen's factory in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's the first such move since the UAW won strong contracts with automakers in Detroit last fall. The UAW said a supermajority of the VW plant's nearly 4,000 production workers signed cards supporting union representation. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Milwaukee Business Journal honors their 40 under 40 today.
The list highlights the best and brightest emerging leaders under 40 years old. One of those leaders being Melanie Ricks, who is the Milwaukee Bucks sideline reporter and the host of Nothing But the Truth on 101.7 The Truth. She tells WTMJ her advice for her fellow Jacks and Jills of all trades.
Believe in yourself. Thoughts do become things. I've seen evidence of that. People want to help good people. So if you're a good, kind person and you're putting good energy out there, I genuinely believe the universe does reward that.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
You can see the features about Rick's and 3 other 40 under 40 honorees on our website, WTMJ.com.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All the indices in the green this afternoon. The Dow currently up 134 points at 38,850. The Nasdaq up 144 points at 16,117. And the S&P 500 also up today about 41 points at 5157. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:03.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With spring in the air, a young man's fancy turns to ceiling fans. And at BBC, he'll see all the best quality fans and their newest styles. The new fan electronics provide a great method of moving air, and with LED lights, they use less electricity than ever. We have fans in all sizes, from 24 to 96 inches wide, and their motors are warranted for life. At BBC, we advise you on the right fan for your needs, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday 10 to 4 and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. We agree, right? Potholes stink. Our recent weather means this could be one of the worst years yet. Johnson & Sons Paving is up to the challenge. This team has over 2 decades experience. When potholes pop up in your asphalt, Johnson & Sons Paving will patch them up or replace the whole parking lot. Take a look at johnsonsonspaving.com. Sign a parking lot paving contract before May 31st, and you might just get me out on the job site working with the crew. Find full contest details at WTMJ.com/contests.
With NBA League Pass, you get so much game.
Even regular season games?
Yep.
Even some of the in-season tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch home and away team broadcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Can I watch from my phone while I take a long bath?
Sure.
And if my team wins, can I stand up super fast and splash water everywhere and scream, yes, that's right!
Hey, could we get a normal fan for this commercial? Subscribe at NBA.com/League Pass today. Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Time for a Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's all. Sports Desk update. All eyes on college basketball. Big week here. Marquette, a number 2 seed. They begin NCAA tournament play Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock against Western Kentucky. Badgers earn a 5 seed. They'll play James Madison Friday night about 8:40 in Spokane, Washington. UW Green Bay and Marquette women also set to participate in the women's tournament. Brewers and Angels today in Cactus League play from Arizona. Hear it on 94.5 ESPN at 3 o'clock. Our next broadcast scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 2:55.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. There are a couple disabled vehicles out around the system, but nothing that's going to cause you any issues. Drive times are looking good on this Monday, with the exception of I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown. Due to the construction, there's a 2-minute delay.
Mostly cloudy today with some flurries expected, a high of 37. Expect some flurries tonight as well with an overnight low of 28. Up to 50 tomorrow under breezy conditions, but topping out in the mid-30s the rest of the week. It's currently 32 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:06.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
So you can imagine my surprise yesterday. My daughter's playing soccer out in New Berlin, a little indoor soccer, rounding out their schedule. We talked with Brian Niznansky last week on the afternoon show. I was filling in for John, and my daughter's team played Niz's daughter's team, right?
Nice.
Which is always cool. We see them at a lot of different events. Big complex. There's softball being played, there's basketball being played, there's soccer being played, there's baseball being played at this complex in New Berlin, beautiful indoor complex. And a nice gentleman held the door as my wife and daughters were walking out after my daughter's games. And a very nice gentleman, looked familiar. It was Matt LaFleur. It was the Packers head coach.
Oh, you're kidding. I'm like, where's this going? You said twice that he's a nice man. Like, what if he wasn't a nice man? It was Matt LaFleur.
He was there. He was not watching my daughter's team play Niz's daughter's team. At least I don't think he was. I think he was upstairs watching some basketball. I don't know exactly the teams who were playing, but yeah, just put it on the list of things you didn't expect to see on St. Patrick's Day walking out of your daughter's soccer game.
So it hit you after the fact that it was him?
Oh, no, I knew him right away.
Oh, okay.
Matt and I know each other just from doing media stuff.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, did you chat?
Real brief, he was walking out, and I was like, checking out some hoops? And he kind of looked and smiled and said, yeah, got a good time. Got to make the drive back north now. Okay, good. Nice and simple.
I gotcha. Okay.
Matt LaFleur hanging out in New Berlin yesterday. You never know who you're going to run into. You never know what stories we're going to be covering, but they're going to be big.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
The trial for a former Wisconsin election official who allegedly requested mail-in ballots for 3 non-existent military voters begins today with jury selection in Milwaukee. Kimberly Zapata was charged in 2022 with 1 count of felony misconduct in public office and 3 misdemeanor counts of election fraud. Prosecutors say Zapata admitted to ordering military ballots for fake people. Zapata's team is saying she did this to expose inadequacies in the election system. So here's the deal. What's on the line? Well, if convicted, Zapata's felony charge carries maximum penalties of both 3.5 years in prison and $10,000 in fines.
Well, today is the day productivity decreases in the United States. But, Greg, the tournament doesn't start in earnest until Thursday. I know, but somebody's handing out brackets at your place
fill
of
out that bracket
work today. If you're spending time with it, you are not doing your other job. But that's okay. It's a week-long event tied directly to the NCAA tournament. A Finance Buzz survey finds that 36% of the workforce admits to watching the tournament during the workday. And I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
It's different when it's part of your job,
there you
though,
go.
too. See? Yeah, so you can say guilty and raise your hand, and it's okay. For others, not so much.
It's also part of the culture here at Good Karma Brands because we carry Marquette basketball on 94.5 ESPN. We're kind of a sports-minded culture here, and we have a lot of televisions. I've noticed that in all areas of our studios and beyond. So games will be on. 4 teams from Wisconsin will play in the men's and women's tournament, both the men's and women's team from Marquette, UW Green Bay women, and, of course, the Wisconsin Badgers. So women's teams will play on Saturday. The men's teams locally will both play Friday. Marquette at 1 o'clock against Western Kentucky. Badgers in the evening about 8:40, depending when the game ends before them, taking on James Madison. So there you go. They're all set for basketball this week.
I was going to ask you how you pick the winners. Do you strategize with who really is going to win, or do you put a little heart and soul into it?
I think you can't just look at the seeds and like who's supposed to be the team that goes the furthest because crazy things happen. It's darn near impossible to do.
They're always bracket busters. I mean, that's the fun of March Madness.
You have to apply a little bit of gut feeling to it, I think, if you're going to do it sincerely. But I like to have a bracket of integrity, the one that I'm submitting, and then the one that's just kind of off the rails, sort of nuts.
Has anyone ever had a perfect March Madness bracket? The answer is no.
More likely to win the lottery.
But you can try.
That's true.
Number 3, a St. Norbert College professor is just one win away from winning Jeopardy's Tournament of Champions. This is philosophy professor Ben Chan. He has 2 wins in the best of 7 series. First contestant to 3 wins, takes the crown, right? So Chan eked out a $1 victory on Friday. That was the most interesting part to me. Just $1, he got it. An episode he actually watched at a bar in Appleton.
You're kind of reliving it when you're watching it to a surprising degree. So the kind of same nerves that were there during the game kind of reemerge watching it.
Yeah, the audio there from WLUK up in Green Bay. So he's been kind of all over Green Bay, Fox Valley, doing these little watch parties. I'm wondering where his watch party is tonight. Because this could
Do you think it's going to give you a clue?
If he wins it. I don't know where he's going. But if he wins today, I mean, he's the winner. That's it. It's over. It's going to be on at 6 o'clock tonight on CBS 58. And you're right, he's had 2 $1 wins because he got Final Jeopardy right. He was the only guy to do it. and he creatively bet. He thought it through. See, I did the wrong way. I'd be $1 short.
Oh.
Right? And I would screw myself up.
I feel like if he wins this, if he wins tonight, he should be able to shoot that brazuka all year long. Did you hear that?
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like one of the first times. It was like, hey, from being on, has anything changed? He's like, yeah, I got to shoot the brazuka.
At a Timber Rattlers game, right? Yeah, that was particularly interesting. So we're all rooting for Ben Chan tonight on Jeopardy! He could be a Tournament of Champions winner. Always rooting for Tim Sheehy, senior advisor to the MMAC. He joins us in studio after this. It's 12:13.
Come see Thanalysis live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel on Friday, March 22nd.
Hey, welcome to another Thanalysis show. And we do well coming on in today's podcast.
Be there for the first ever live show for Thanasis as he's joined by his brother, none other than the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I took off my shoes and I was like, go crazy, go hoop. That's all it was.
Get your tickets now at GALiveshow.com. Thanalysis live at Potawatomi Casino Hotel on March 22nd. GALiveshow.com.
Tim Sheehy in studio coming up in just a few minutes. He always reminds me it's almost time to eat. That's right. It's Palermo's. How about a Palermo's day for you? For lunch, for dinner, whatever you want to do, it's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Boy, it always tastes great, right? Always seems to hit the spot. Palermo's, Urban Pie, Connie's, Surfer Boy, Screamin' Sicilian. There's stuff in the crust on that thing. Did you know that? They have found a way to make an incredible pizza even better at Palermo's. And it's kind of what they do. A variety for you to try. What's it going to be today? Maybe a Primo Thin. That sounds pretty good if you indulged a little bit over the weekend. Found wherever you like to shop. Festival Foods, Piggly Wiggly, Sendik's, Woodman's, you name it. You will find Palermo's wherever you find your frozen pizzas. And the best, made by Palermo's. Right here in Wisconsin, celebrating its 60th year in business. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Flurries today, chilly temperatures as well. Supposed to top out about 37. We're not quite there yet. Overnight low of 28. Up to 50 tomorrow. Breezy conditions. Back into the 30s for your high on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And some snow expected by the end of the week. More on that throughout the week here on WTMJ. It's 33 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:15. Tim Sheehy is a senior advisor to the MMAC. Joins us in studio every Monday at about 12:15. Still wearing his St. Patrick's Day green. I trust you didn't just get in from your St. Patrick's Day celebration.
I did not just get in. I said Jessica has her green on too, though. So great weekend, though.
Definitely a great weekend. It's like a 3-week celebration in Milwaukee. How they handle St. Patrick's Day.
Slancha.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, Tim, so a new survey shows that property managers, it's kind of analyzing property managers on the impact of MPS property tax increase. What are we learning about what this survey yields?
Yeah, sure. The interesting thing about MPS's property tax increase, and really anybody that increases property taxes, is understanding that 59% of the city residents are renters. They're not homeowners. And so renters sometimes think they're immune from property tax increases. But Milwaukee over the last 12 months has had the second fastest growing rent increases at about 4%. And our survey of 50 large property owners who have rental units, 90% of them say they're going to pass on the cost of the property tax increase to their renters. So this is just a message to the city residents to make sure that because you rent doesn't mean you're immune from property tax increases.
Well, that is kind of fascinating because I was thinking, okay, well, they don't have to worry about their property taxes and how much they're going to go up. They have to worry about spending the money in a different way.
Right. No, and so it is an issue, and so whether you're going to the polls or not, if you're renting, we want you to think about this. And as we kind of dig into the MPS story further, they're making a request for $252 million in new funding, but for each of the last 3 years, they've run a $50 million operating surplus. And the other interesting note here is a big chunk of what they're asking for is to fill positions that they haven't filled in the last 3 years. And the question is, are they really going to fill them? So if MPS were really going to spend all this money, they'd have to hire 500 people over the next 12 months. And that's just not realistic.
It'll be on the ballot here April 2nd, the MPS referendum. Is the model broken, Tim, where they have to go back to the well here? I mean, it wasn't that long ago they were asking for millions in funding to help in enrollment that was dropping, teacher shortage, and a lot of different things, but that was part of it.
Yeah, in 2020, it was an $87 million property tax increase. And so the question really for the city is, we need a strong public school system. Half the kids now are choosing to use public funding to go to someplace other than MPS, but that doesn't mean MPS isn't vital and we don't need them. What we need is a plan, and we need to see academic improvement. And that's why I think the MMAC and a lot of the business community are pushing pause here and saying, not till we see a plan and not till we see academic improvement does it make sense to raise another $252 million.
Another big story that we announced last week, but you have more perspective on it now. Summerfest coming out with their economic impact numbers. It's not just this wonderful festival that we all love to go to. I mean, with great music and great food along a great lake. It helps our economy hugely.
Yeah, and in full disclosure, I'm a Summerfest board member, but you're absolutely right. $263 million of economic impact from the festival park and all the events that go on there. And that economic impact supports about 4,300 jobs and pays state and local government about $18 million a year in taxes. And so when we look at Summerfest, it is a great event. It is exciting for the community, but it also it has a big economic impact. And as we think forward, the Summerfest has a lease through 2030. And so we want to start thinking about the future of Summerfest, its impact on the community. I think Sarah Smith's doing a great job running the organization, but we want to think about its long-term health, not only as a benefit for those attending, but for our economy.
2030 is coming up when you say that. I mean, that's not far off.
No, it isn't. It isn't. And I think this has been a great partnership with the city. And now we want to think about how can we use these grounds more on a year-round basis? How do we get more value out of them? And I think it's going to be a great discussion going forward between, Summerfest, the mayor, and the Common Council.
It's such an interesting strategy. I remember when Bo Black was running Summerfest, man, she wanted the attendance numbers out every day. She wanted to hear, right? They wanted to get to 1 million. That was the thing. And Don Smiley and now Sarah have focused more on the quality of the experience when you go to Summerfest, that you don't want to be just in that log jam of people unable to move to have a high attendance number. You want to have people who can move around along with experiencing great entertainment.
Yeah, instead of a crush of 11 days in a row now, we've gone to 3-3-day weekends. But just as importantly now, you can go to the park right now if you have kids and utilize the Northwestern Mutual Playground. There are other concerts and events outside of the Summerfest dates. And so that's really about, the future is about activating that park more than just during the days of Summerfest.
I remember those days, though, when you would walk at Summerfest, especially at night on a Friday night, and just you'd be in flip-flops because it might be hot out and people would be stepping on your toes. We've come a long way since then.
We've come a long ways from that and the old days of getting a hand stamp to see a concert from the lawn.
I loved that, lining up for those.
And
that's
sitting
a
in
good
a trash bag on a park bench.
Well, we could go way back when it used to be just mud, remember, before the pavement was down? So I love the history of Summerfest, how far it's come, and it's so great. You have a big night tonight, don't you, Tim?
I do.
I do.
Yes.
Tim gets inducted into the Hall of Fame for the 40 under 40.
Yeah, I was teasing Mark Cass the other day. I was in the first 40 under 40 class in 1992.
Oh, it was the first one?
The first one. And I told Mark, I think I made this. This is like voting for the Hall of Fame. I've reached my statutory limit. So I'm either in this time or I'm out.
Well, you are in. Always a great celebration here, the 40 under 40. Vince Vitrano and Susan Kim are going to lead that tonight. Awesome. E-commerce is a big deal, obviously. It's sometimes driving people out of the retail stores, but if you purchase from one of those retail stores' websites, the opportunity to return that bread maker that you didn't need comes about.
It's really interesting. About 25% of all commerce is being done worldwide online. So it's almost $3 billion in spending. And I'll ask you two this question. So everybody shops online now, but we also return, And so if you think about it, the question I have for both of you is, if I had to ask you what the top 2 or 3 items returned from people purchasing online, what would you say?
Shoes? Is shoes one of them?
Ding, ding. Shoes are number 3.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I was going to say clothing.
Ding, ding. That's number 1. 24% of the returns are clothing, 17% are shoes, and 17% are bags and purses.
Oh, really?
So there's a big booming business in people returning merchandise that they've bought online. And to make that point, UPS bought a company called Happy Returns for about $470 million just to buy their locations where people can go and return product. So it's another part of our growing e-commerce business.
Well, and Kohl's has leaned into it too, Tim, because if you buy something on Amazon, you don't like it, they've got a place to take it back, right? Yep. Right directly to Amazon. They do everything for you, and then they give you a coupon to go shop, and then you get your Kohl's cash, right? And they've kind of leaned into that world.
No, you're right. As easy it is to shop online now, people expect ease of returns. So that's a big part of keeping the customer satisfied and keeping them shopping online.
The interesting thing, though, I don't want to order shoes online. I get that some people do. I would rather go into the store because I'm sometimes in between sizes and I really want to try them on and just know, so then I'm good to go home with these. They're going to work out. I don't like to get the shoes, and then all of a sudden I've got 2 boxes I've got to send back. But it's harder to do that these days because even if you go to a Macy's, especially in the men's shoe section, I'm like, where is the men's shoe section?
Yeah, they don't have the product in the store, so you can go, but you might not get your size. So what I think more and more people do, whether it's Amazon or Zappos, is they'll buy a 12, a 12.5, and a 13 of the same shoe, return 2 of them, and find the one that fits, and that's just the way the world's going.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. He is a Hall of Famer. He is our Hall of Famer. He is the senior advisor for the MMAC. I give you too many M's there. MMAC. Tim Sheehy, had a great night tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
You bet. It's 12:24 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it comes to painting, don't do it yourself. Call the pros at your local neighborhood CertaPro painters. That's what we did. CertaPro came out, gave us choices, walked us through the process, and then when they were there, it was quick, it was easy. Our home is beautiful. Excellent workmanship all the way around. It's CertaPro painters. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Since 1955, my friends at Geist Garage Doors have been the trusted authority in the state of Wisconsin. Don't think twice, call Geist. Yeah, you've heard that before, no doubt. Well, they really stand behind it. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give them a call at Geist today. Doors and openers right there, ready for you for every budget. They'll even build a custom design to meet your exact needs. In fact, I've seen it. I've been through their showroom when they were handcrafting a door, sanding the wood door down, getting it ready for a stain. Really cool process. And I couldn't believe how many doors they actually have in stock. That could mean a quick turnaround time for you. So swift, reliable garage repair solutions are right there. Go to geistdoors.com, stop by their showroom in Brookfield, right off Barker Road, or give them a call at 262-784-4250. It's 262-784-4250. It's Geist Garage Doors. From Cudahy to Cedarburg and everywhere in between, they are trusted. Don't think twice. Call Geist.
St. Vincent de Paul, Milwaukee has expanded into our new 76th and Bradley Road location, where thrifters will find hundreds of bargains on everything, from clothing to furniture, electronics, home goods, and more. Our inventory is always changing, and new deals pop up every day. We're accepting donations too at our convenient drive-through donation area. Help us help others. St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee is now open.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hi folks, Cindy Storm Fisher and Julie Coombs here at Storm Fisher Investment Group with just one question. Are you happy with how your investments are growing? We've been helping people just like you for over 40 years, and we'd be happy to help you.
We have no agenda, no quotas to meet, and great relationships are our business. If you're looking for an advisory relationship like you've never had before, call us. Let's see if it's a great fit. Storm Fisher Investment Group, online at stormfisher.com.
See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Hey, coming up after the news, Thanasis Antetokounmpo. He is in studio to talk about a very cool event that he is going to be leading on Friday night. It's Thanalysis Live. It's Thanasis' podcast, and his guest will be his brother Giannis. That's amazing. A live audience will be at Potawatomi Hotel Casino. You could be in the audience if you'd like. Check out the tickets at taliveshow.com. It starts at 7 o'clock Friday. It's Giannis and his brother Thanasis in the Thanalysis Live podcast at Potawatomi Hotel Casino on Friday night, 7 o'clock. And get tickets at taliveshow.com. Thanasis in studio following the news.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Watch out. That old deck might cost you more than a weekend of upkeep, painting, staining, or replacing old boards. That old deck on the surface may look awful and quite embarrassing in your pictures. Beyond the surface, that old deck could be a potential hazard waiting to happen. There are many inspection points to know if your deck is ready to support your family and friends for the weekend party, or if you've lost trust and need to replace before the big problems happen to you. Many old decks on single-family homes were built by the weekend warrior or the know-it-all do-it-yourselfer. These are weekend projects rushed to be finished by the Sunday evening deadline, maybe even built with a couple cases of beer nearby. Often steps are skipped, process is lost, or even material looked over to finish the job before work on Monday. We find when replacing these types of decks, they were never securely put together to begin with, resulting in the high risk of failure. Not my deck, people say. We use the right stuff. Meanwhile, they never secured or poorly secured the ledger board to the house, didn't use enough or the right hangers, had the wrong lumber to support the size of the deck, or just plain did a bad job. All of which can result in trip hazards, flashing issues, or worse, problems supporting the weight load of your loved ones. As you entertain your family and friends, be proud of how beautiful your deck looks, as well as how you can show off the cool inspection report knowing everyone is safe because your deck was built by the right people.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for outdoor decks. Also replacement windows, roofing, and of course siding. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, a high-profile election fraud trial underway in Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Ty, choosing not to mix alcohol and politics at a Milwaukee bar.
Mostly cloudy today. Flurries expected with a high of 37 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Flurries expected with a low of 28. We'll warm up on Tuesday momentarily. Partly cloudy, breezy, and mild, a high of 50. 30s, your high the rest of the week. It's 33 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:30.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments that could determine how much power the government has to regulate online content. Justice Samuel Alito questioning Deputy Solicitor General Brian Fletcher about language the Biden administration used in emails to social media platforms about COVID vaccines.
Do you think that the print media regards themselves as being on the same team as the federal government, partners with the federal government?
So potentially in the context of an effort to get Americans vaccinated during a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic.
Lower courts have ruled with Republican-led states which accuse the White House of censoring conservative viewpoints. President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke today for the first time in more than a month. The president signed an executive order today to advance the study of women's health. Stocks are higher so far. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Jury selection underway in the trial of a former Wisconsin election official who allegedly requested mail-in ballots for 3 non-existent military voters and sent them to the home of State Representative Janelle Brandtgen.
We waive the reading and the plea is not guilty.
Kimberly Zapata was charged in 2022 with 1 count of felony misconduct in public office and 3 misdemeanor counts of election fraud, much to the shock of Mayor Cavalier Johnson at the time.
I was stunned to hear the very serious allegations against her.
Zapata began working for the commission in 2016 and became deputy director in 2022. Zapata's felony charge carries maximum penalties of both 3.5 years in prison and $10,000 in fines. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin voters will decide next month whether to make it unconstitutional to accept private grant money to help administer state elections. It's one of two Republican-backed questions on the state's April 2nd ballot. The other is a change that would allow only officials designated by law to administer elections. Democrats say the measures are meant to make it harder to conduct elections. Early in-person absentee voting is scheduled to start Tuesday.
One Milwaukee bar is looking to avoid business from the upcoming RNC.
The mothership in Bayview posting on social media that it will close during the week of the RNC in opposition to its, quote, tomfoolery. Owner Ricky Ramirez tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that, quote, the number one reason is we are a bar and alcohol and politics don't mix. Ramirez says he also considered closing for the Democratic National Convention in 2020 if the event had been held in person in Milwaukee. He is considering making the mothership bar available to reserve for private events during the week of July 15th. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Lottery fever is just about everywhere this week with big jackpots on the line.
Mega Millions and Powerball players, get your tickets. Both lotteries haven't had a top prize winner in months. The Mega Millions jackpot up to an estimated $875 million ahead of Tuesday night's drawing. Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is at an estimated $600 million. And while the jackpots are huge, so are the odds of winning. Mega Millions players have a 1 in 302 million chance of taking home the top prize. Powerball players have a 1 in 292 million chance. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 12:34.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff. Yeah.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here it goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Are you looking to downsize your home? Does the thought of moving out of your lifelong home with cherished memories overwhelm you? Hi, this is Jean Nemelvitz from Bruce's team. As you transition into the next stage of your life, our team is ready to take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. To start the process of downsizing and moving to the lifestyle you deserve, call us at 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
In celebration of Women's History Month, join Annex Wealth Management and former member of the Wisconsin State Senate, Leah Vukmir, to explore Shattering the Myth of the Glass Ceiling. This conversation about real challenges facing women in the workforce is Tuesday, March 26th at our headquarters in Brookfield from 5 to 7 p.m. Bring a friend. Join us as Leah leads a collaborative dialogue centered around real obstacles women face as we bring our ideas to the corporate table. Sign up at annexwealth.com under the Events tab.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Big week in college basketball. Marquette, the number 2 seed in the upcoming NCAA tournament. They'll play Western Kentucky on Friday at 1 o'clock. You can hear that game on 94.5 ESPN. Badgers men's team earns the number 5 seed. They'll play James Madison in Spokane, Washington. Also, Friday night, about 8:40. Brewers and Angels today. Cactus League play continues. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN beginning at 3 o'clock. Our next broadcast of spring training baseball tomorrow afternoon at 2:55.
Let's check out your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. It looks like a Monday outside on our system. There are no major accidents to report. And all the drive times are either normal or actually running a little bit fast. The one exception, I bet you guessed it if you travel, I-43 southbound Brown Deer Road to downtown. Due to the construction, there is a 2-minute delay on the drive time there.
Traffic is sponsored by the Delafield Brewhouse Restaurant and Brewery. Visit delafieldbrewhouse.com for daily specials.
The Delafield Brewhouse caters all events at your place or theirs with 5-star food and service. The Delafield Brewhouse in the heart of Lake Country. Call to schedule catering today.
Flurries expected today, cloudy skies as well, with a high of 37 degrees, overnight low of 28. Flurries are going to hang out. Tomorrow, flurries going away with a high of 50. With breezy conditions, we'll top out in the mid to upper 30s the rest of the week. Chance for snow on Friday. It's 33 degrees in Milwaukee at 12:37. Hey, big deal happening on Friday in Milwaukee. Yeah, I know the Bucks are playing the Celtics this week, but the real big Bucks event is going to happen on Friday night at Potawatomi Hotel Casino. Starts at 7 o'clock. Thanalysis. It's a live podcast featuring Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and he'll be interviewing his brother. And my notes say it's Giannis. The brother he'll be interviewing and talking to is Giannis on stage at Potawatomi. And Thanasis is so kind to join us here in studio. The best looking of the Antetokounmpo brothers in our studio.
Oh, my God. People got to stop saying that. It's creating friction between the brothers. No, thank you so much for having me. You said the real event. Man, it's something special. I mean, I started the podcast, a year ago, a little bit independently, and now, with a partner, Good Karma. Shout out to Good Karma for believing in the dream and the podcast. But I'm very excited. It's my first live, so it's only fitted to interview my brother. So that's kind of cool. But
are you nervous at all because it's live, or are you just pumped?
No, I'm not nervous because, and the reason I'm not nervous is because I'm gonna. It's like every other podcast, It's every podcast that I do. Obviously, because people maybe don't know, it's pre-recorded. I gotta, because of timing, because of the games and practices, I can't shoot on the spot. So everything's pre-recorded. So I don't really, I don't get nervous in the beginning. The only part that gets me nervous is the language barrier because, English is not my first language. So it's kind of harder a little bit. But other than this, no, it's because I'm learning through the podcast. So it's
and you know your subject better than anybody, right? Yeah. You know Giannis better than absolutely anybody. So you're comfortable with that.
It's so crazy that I think I'm going to be very surprised on the podcast. I think I'm going to learn stuff that I don't actually know about because, we are brothers, but at the same time, it's a lot of things that, he was here in Milwaukee for so many years. He's been through some stuff. I was in Spain and then I came back. It's a lot of things that, okay, we're not together every day, but I want to ask him about things that I've never asked him before.
I love that.
So,
I was going to ask, are you going to grill him? Do you have some tough questions?
No, so you know what? He's going to be the guy I grill the most. I think from all the other guests that I've had because every other guest that I've had, and the reason they come on the show, is because I just let them say their story and make them feel comfortable. And you'll be surprised that once you let people kind of feel comfortable, you interview them, what they would say, and how their story. So that's one of it. But I'm definitely gonna nitpick. Oh no, what he says for sure.
Thanasis Antetokounmpo joining us here in studio on Wisconsin's Midday News. You're gonna have to check this out. Tickets available at taliveshow.com. It's Thanasis and his brother at Potawatomi on Friday at 7 o'clock. A live audience. So. That'll be interesting. And Jessica asked you the question, would you be nervous for it? And you play in front of 20,000 people, right? You're always in front of a crowd, but it's a little different when you're sitting on a stage in a chair looking out at everybody, isn't it?
No, yeah, it's 100%. It's the same thing right now in the in the room, and we're doing this radio show, and this might be it's probably my first radio show. I've never done another radio show before.
Woo-hoo!
Really? Yeah, especially in the U.S. I don't think so. I'm definitely not as same as fluid as just I'm going to go out there and play because what I'm playing is just I love it. That's what I do. But I'm starting to love podcasting as well too. So I'm kind of starting to get more and more comfortable. But at the same time, you gotta understand, the fan base people in Milwaukee have made me feel comfortable as well. That's why I'm not nervous because in everything we've done, they've supported anything, literally anything. From our store. That we have close to the Pfizer to the podcast now to anything that we've done as a family. So that's very reassuring for me. So hopefully I don't go get nervous in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, but,
Well, you don't play the Celtics until Wednesday, so I think we can keep you for another segment today. More with Thanasis and Tetakumbo after this.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
For over 75 years, Running Stores have earned the reputation for quality brands, fair value, and hometown-friendly service. Now Runnings is bringing those same values to you. Runnings is now open in your community. Find the widest variety of everything you and your family need for your home, on the farm, and in the outdoors. Runnings is proud to live, work, and serve in local communities across the Midwest, the Northeast, and America's heartland. Runnings is your new home, farm, and outdoor store. We look forward to seeing you soon. Learn more about us at runnings.com.
The original Botanas restaurant. Delectable entrees, 50 top-shelf tequilas, 20 different margarita flavors. Stop by for lunch or before or after the big game. The original Botanas on 5th Street.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, best-selling author and founder of the Neal Group. I have some questions for you. Who does your books? Hopefully not you. There are better things for you to do in running your business. Do you trust the numbers? Good numbers are critical for making good decisions. Are you getting the advice you need to minimize your taxes and put more money in your pocket? A good advisor makes suggestions to help your business grow and minimize taxes, not just put numbers on a form. Do your calls get returned and your questions answered? Many of our new clients tell us they love our quick response time. We have helped countless businesses increase their profits and lower stress. Get the advice you want and need to grow your business and minimize taxes. If you want to get started on the road to making more money and having less stress, visit nealgroup.net right now. That's NEAL group.net. The first meeting is free to see if we can help. Again, nealgroup.net.
Welcome back in. Happy to be joined by Thanasis and Tetakumbo. It's Thanalysis Live on Friday of this week, March 22nd. He and his brother, like you've never seen them before, on stage at Potawatomi. Tickets available at taliveshow.com.
Hey, I love this. I just saw you just reached 100K downloads for your podcast. Congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why do you think people thoroughly enjoy, not just here in Milwaukee, but really around the world, people can listen to you? Why do you think they enjoy it so much?
I would love to say that's my voice, but I don't think that is. I don't think that's the case. I think it's another version of myself that I bring to the table, and it's kind of, and it's who I interview as well, because it's different stories and narrative of people that you only seen, through social media or through or be celebrities. I had Jake Paul on it. I've had guys, a lot of NBA guys. I've had different people. I've had fighters, Kamaru Usman. I've had different people on the podcast that are, sometimes they maybe portrayed differently when it comes to their field, but I wanted to just give a different feel for it. So,
well, you're off to an amazing start with it.
Thank you.
And it seems to be growing. A lot of these NBA podcasts are doing really, really well, and it's no surprise that you, with all your energy and charisma, Would be very good at
Thank you.
something like this. It seems to be natural for you.
No, thank you. It's hard. I'm trying to do it kind of different way because, like, you don't come to my podcast for the soundbite. You don't come to my podcast for something that's gonna or gossip or like inside the locker room stuff like that. You will get some of it, of course, but not in an extent that is what I do and that's what I'm known for. That's why people feel so comfortable to come to the podcast. That's why I get guys like Damian Lillard, even though he's my teammate. People don't say this, but it doesn't matter if he's your teammate. Guys really don't want to do podcasts like that because they feel like I don't want to put myself out there for people to dissect and nitpick and say and get a soundbite, and all of a sudden I'm talked about for like 2-3 days. That affects people, and how so I'm just trying to create this atmosphere of honest conversation and mostly motivational, to be honest with you, because all of these people are in this position they are for a reason, and not nobody came and just dropped them from the sky and it's more of like it's a process to it.
Who's that one get? You're like, ooh, I want to get this guy or this gal on my podcast.
Oh, that's a good question. It's so many. It's so many. Bliss is. I'm trying to get Elon Musk on my podcast.
Elon, okay, that's a big one.
Which is crazy thing to say, but I think not just because I would love to know a little bit about the future and the plans and what he's doing. Because people keep asking him about. Twitter X, however you want to call it, and the different stuff he's doing now. I want to know what his view is and how he feels about the world. So because I'm very interested in this, because I'm a person who learns about the culture. And I want to know as well that for someone not being from here, coming here and trying to succeed, and what does it take to? And it takes another drive. Obviously, I know this, I understand this, but in his world, it's kind of different. It's different.
Would you go up into space with him?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
That's in your view, right? You want to go to the moon?
Yeah, I do want to go to the moon, but so. By the way, I'm a guy who doesn't I don't bungee jump. I would never jump off a plane. I would never, I'm very safe, kind of like that. But I feel like that's another multiverse for us as a human. It's another dimension for us. No, because. This is then you get to answer the questions that everybody asks. Are we alone in the universe? Are we, what are we, what do we mean? So it's another philosophy.
Speaking of alone in the universe, I bet Giannis felt like that when he was drafted and then in Milwaukee by himself, right? There's famous stories about Giannis sending money back to the family and then running to the then Bradley Center for a game, and somebody picked him up and drove him there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have discussed this much, but what was it like for you as big brother watching little brother embark on this incredible journey in the unknown?
Scary. It was scary because, as older brother, you always want to be there. You always want to protect your brother, and you always want to set the tone. But very scary. But at the same time, I can't show that I'm scared. I'm like, oh, look what's going on, and we're here. Or so we don't know people, and language barrier. We got to learn everything from the beginning, from the scratch. But you can't show that emotion, because if I do show that emotion, he looks up to me. So how is he gonna feel if I'm saying hey, I'm in Delaware and I'm trying to make it here and I'm scared and this, that, and I don't come out the house or I don't do this. So that is that aspect. But other than this, is the only mindset you have is I want to see my family again, and I have to succeed any way as possible. So.
Hey, Thanasis, if you can hang on a second, I want to ask you about your love affair for Milwaukee and how the city has really grown to love you as well. More with Thanasis Antetokounmpo right after this. It's Wisconsin's Midday News on WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our retirement-ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Who's faster, the Easter Bunny or O&H Danish Bakery? Kringle. Send that famous Kringle to any doorstep in just 2 business days. Serving Kringle will be the perfect Easter tradition. Pair that with their colorful and tasty Easter braided colored bread. Order your Easter treats online today. OHDanishBakery.com. Try all their delicious bakery made from scratch and hop into O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturtevant this Easter season.
I'm going to say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. Over the years, we've cut our losses with a handful of people that just didn't live our values as much as we'd like. And a lot of them, if not all of them, still work in the industry today. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngworth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back, everyone, to Wisconsin's Midday News on this Monday. Today, we're joined by Thanasis Antetokounmpo. What do you, both of you and your brother Giannis, just love about Milwaukee? Because I'll tell you what, we love watching you guys. I mean, not just you balling out there in the court, but also just having fun and being good people. We appreciate that so much. So what do you appreciate about the people in Milwaukee?
First of all, the thing I absolutely love about Milwaukee is the weather. The weather is...
You tried to say it with a straight face.
No. No, jokes aside, I would say how hard Milwaukee works, how into the craft they are. You know, we just, and you can tell by the team. You know, we're just a team for the past 5-6 years. We just do our job and go home. You know, we don't ask for a lot. We don't do a lot. And you see people who are even actually moving to Milwaukee trying to do the same. You know, just trying to work hard, create something for themselves, and just go home. But one of the other things is that people haven't seen, and I've seen it with my eyes, is like how much Milwaukee has changed throughout the years. And I'm not saying real estate-wise. Real estate-wise, you can see it. Obviously, the Pfizer, we used to play at the Bradley. The Pfizer was an empty parking lot, the Trade Hotel. Like all of these things being built, you know, we'll see totally different things in the next 5 years from now. And how even people see sports and how the fan base has come out to support. But the most important thing is it's not only with basketball. It's every business, you know, from ESPN Milwaukee now, like doing all these things, from the radio shows, from people just saying like, hey, we're gonna stay right here, you know, and we're gonna grow our seeds in the place we are and not move, you know, not go to the bright lights, not say, okay, it's something better elsewhere. I'm gonna make this the place for me, you know, and I think that's the mindset we've had, and people have followed that with us. So that's the best part. And as well, obviously, I don't know. It's a weird love for Milwaukee. Not a weird love, because they ask me, where are you from the States? When you're from the States, where are you from? I just go Milwaukee, you know. And in the beginning, when people in Greece would ask me like, where's Milwaukee? I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I'd explain. But when people in the U.S. ask me where's Milwaukee, I'm like, no, come on, you've never been to the Midwest, or you've never been Chicago and stuff like this. And actually, in the past 4 years, I actually get offended nowadays. No, seriously. Seriously. I get offended. And one of the things like people would never tell you is when you start, you know, loving Milwaukee and doing these things, there's nothing people love more than somebody who's not from Milwaukee that loves Milwaukee. That's insane. You know, I see that every day. Like I walk out in the streets, and I remember I went to leave my suit for like dry cleaners, and I walked out. I had to walk like 2-3 blocks away, and in the span of like 5 minutes, like 2 cars stopped. Like the first car stopped. I was like, "Hey, Thanais, let me take a picture of this. Do you need a ride? Let me take you. Like I'll take you. You know, do you need a ride?" I was like, "No, thank you." You know, I was walking. Then I literally turned the block, and I'm like, I don't know, like 100 feet away from my car, and somebody stops again. It's like, oh, Thanasa, do you wanna ride? I'll take you. Like, for me not to walk, outside in the cold. And I said, this is Milwaukee. This is why we love Milwaukee as well. So
what people do.
Yeah.
Thanasis Live. You got to check it out. Thanasis and brother Giannis. Very special night at Potawatomi Hotel Casino. It's Friday, March 22nd. If you're looking for tickets, it's taliveshow.com. It starts at 7 o'clock. Tickets are going fast. See Thanasis and his brother Giannis.
And actually, and I want to add to that it's all ages as well.
Yeah.
Because people asked about that. It's we just want to do something for the fan base to kind of get close and have like a nice conversation with like everybody together, be involved. So it's all ages.
So bring the family out. Check out Thanasis and Giannis like you've never seen them before in Milwaukee. Man, we appreciate your time. And I know the Celtics are on the schedule, but we're really looking forward to this event on Friday, too.
It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
I'm WTMJ Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
On the third day that I was there, still unpacking, I heard happy hour, so I went down the hall. Just then, my cell phone rang. He said, Grandma, how are you? And I said, Scott, honey, I can't talk now. I'm at happy hour.